little children, children's fitness club. It's a lot of fun. And I actually, I'm taking. I try. Well, yeah, I'm supposed to. I'm 23. I'm supposed to. So
Do they pay you at any of these?
Yeah. Enough to get by.
I was getting nervous.
But here's the thing: is that I want to go into teaching anyway. I mean,
you've been promising.
Promises.
So, the woman of the hour, mother, cousin, wife, aunt, mother-in-law, grandmother,
Aunt.
I guess I'd say aunt, mother-in-law, friend,
Stranger.
Classmate too.
Classmate.
Crashed the party?
Yeah, co-workers. Artists, yes, as we tried to indicate. Wonderful, terrific one. And happy 80th birthday. We're so happy to be able to be here with you.
Yeah.
So, to kick things off, okay, I think the revelation is her daughter-in-law's father.
Makatunum.
Machitten.
I would like to share his thoughts. Would you like to come on outside?
I haven't got a thought. No.
Yeah. The village has called. They want their idiot back.
It's very dangerous to be the first person on the bill. Or to pay the bill.
What is she going to do?
Good evening, all. My name is Cy Wellington, and I have to be related to some of these people in the strangest way you'll ever imagine. I was very excited and thrilled when Charlie, who's my son-in-law, or the husband of my daughter, or my wife's daughter, asked me to participate in the festivities this evening. At first I thought I was just going to eat Moroccan food and sit on the floor. There was more expected of me, and when we started talking terms, to forget about it. And I didn't know that was something that you said in California. I thought that was an East Coast expression. But I really am delighted to be here and to welcome Ruth Duple into a relatively exclusive club, the octogenarians. I am an experienced octogenarian, having been one for 5 years. But we don't like to say it that way. I like to say that I have celebrated the 46th anniversary of my 39th birthday. It works for me. I live in Laguna Woods Village, which is a retirement community, and we think of ourselves as being middle-aged. That's if you expect to live to be 170. And I'm just ornery enough to be able to do it. I'm somewhat involved there. We have 18,000 residents. We have 3 homeowners associations, one of which is 6,102 residences, and I am president of that homeowners association. So I'm used to herding cats. And when I first ran for office there, it is when we moved out to California. My last 10 years of my productive life was dealing with mentally retarded, trainable teenagers. And I figured that was a good qualification. You educators know what I mean. What I like to do, I like to write song parodies and naturally sing them. And by the way, I have something in common with Tony Bennett. He and I were both born in August of 1926. Now make of that what you will, because it means absolutely nothing. But the song that I've written for Ruth, and what I do, I always announce what the name of the original tune is. because you may not recognize it. The name of this tune you may have heard of is People.
Oh, yeah.
Written by Julie Stein and made famous, of course, by Barbara Streisand and Funny People. So if my orchestra can come out of this box here. Ruth Loophole, people of Ruth Loophole, one of the classiest people that I know. A shy woman, a great and great woman, and we are so happy to say we celebrate this great day, acting more like children than children. Love her, she's very special people, and we're all special people in this world. One person, such a talented person, we feel it deep in our heart. She dazzles us with her art. So we salute you today and sing happy birthday, people. Happy birthday, dear Ruth Loophole. It's your day. You set the bar very low for the next.
Hell, I'm leaving.
Thank you, Fi. That was fabulous.
The check is in the mail.
Also, from the side of the family, Sammy Fi has volunteered to say something. I don't know what it is.
I didn't know I was going to follow that.
Your grandmother's a tough act to swallow.
No, it was. I was really fortunate, actually, also to join this family. As my mom married Charlie, and it was a lot of things that were nice about this. I loved that. I mean, I grew up in a house now that has your art all in it, which is really nice. And a couple of funny stories, I guess. My mom's side of the family, she grew up in Philadelphia, so her family often will reminisce, especially around this time of the year, about the cold weather in Philadelphia, and they would tell their stories about going outside in the boots, their snow jackets, and at one point she turns to Ruth, she says, you grew up in Montana, why don't you ever share the weather stories? And she very politely explains, well, when you start talking about real weather. So that was pretty cool. And I guess I think probably one of the sweetest memories I have, and I'll end with this, like I said, I'm short-winded, is that Ruth actually welcomed me into this family very literally with open arms. If you can picture, I think I was 10, and I was told that I was about to meet my new grandparents, and I was really excited. And we were going to Kay and Bruce's house, and the doors opened, and almost like a crank Jack in the Box, wide open arms came right at me. And a big hug, and it all went well from there. So happy birthday, and I hope you enjoyed it today.
Very nice.
All right, so we're going to take a little intermission and have a lot of cake. So before I have the staff cut the cake, I hope everybody got a chance to look at it, because Charlie and I started working on the idea about this cake sometime in October. We never really came up with an idea that we both really, really liked. And I went to pool one night and I said to my creative coaching friends, guys, I'm really stuck. I had this idea, Charlie had this idea, my husband had one idea, my son had another idea, but none of them are like just making me really excited. And one of them said, well, what does she like to do? I said, well, she really is a good artist. She goes, well, that's simple. And she's right. It was the obvious answer. So we had a great deal of fun picking out the cake. So I hope everybody gets a chance to look at it, get another cup of coffee if you want. I'm going to get the staff to cut it and serve it, and then we will continue with our sweet.
All right, Rod. Bingo.
I'm going to have the pleasure, the honor of kicking off sort of the next round of what we have in mind here. I hope you guys have all by now managed to grab a piece of cake and to get a look at it before it was so rudely butchered. I think, Kay, that ultimately that was easily the best idea of the bunch. Anyway, those of you here already know quite a bit about Mom's many contributions to education, to the synagogue, and her philanthropic contributions as well. And I suspect we might even hear about some more of those as the night goes on a little bit. But as one of her kids, I've got some things to talk to you about.
The real story.
It's not exactly an expose, all right? But, Mom and I, we don't spend actually as much time together as we used to. In the beginning, we were inseparable. We went everywhere together. More accurately, I should say, I was kind of carried along for the ride. But we shared a lot of special events. And I still attribute my taste for tamales to some of those. But I learned a lot of stuff from Mom over the years. And in particular, a key component of what you might consider to be a family humor can be blamed on Ruth, the English teacher, as much as it can be blamed on Dad. As tempting as that is. But you see, at home, we were expected to use and, misuse language. You have to know it well enough to torture it a little bit, I think was kind of how it worked at our house. Malapropisms, spoonerisms, and other twisted language-isms were regular side dishes at our dinner table. But we never had an official motto for this, but I think that if we had thought about it, it might be something like, keep up or be prepared for a shrewd awakening. But I always thought our language twisting was a lot of fun, a great sport, but sometimes it led to a little bit of a slipped lip in a public setting. And for those uninitiated, sophisticated and sophisticated, well, they really mean the same thing in the house of Spooner. But I also learned an extremely useful one-syllable word from my mom. No. I don't mean this in the same way that a 2-year-old brandishes the word like a sword or anything like that. But there are a lot of layers in the word no. This goes deeply into the roots. So let me tell you a little about how I learned about no from Mom. You might think it was related to my desire for candy or some new toy. Altogether true on some occasion, I'm sure, but not what I have in mind here. Do you remember the Fuller Brush Man? The door-to-door salesman? Yes. Absolutely. Big thing when we were kids growing up. And, Mom would occasionally buy stuff from the Fuller Brush Man, and sometimes even look forward to their visit when there was something special that she was hoping to pick up from them. But other salespeople, many other salespeople, were swiftly and definitively introduced to the word no. No profanity. Mom does not use that kind of language. But there was great clarity about Mom's resolve pushing the door closed. I still find it easy myself to turn down a sales pitch, cast a suspicious eye on some purportedly great deal. And given today's spamming and phishing, for those of you online, no continues to be a pretty useful lesson. In our house, Mom would often play the piano. The Moonlight Serenade or some other melodic tune would waft through the house, and it looked all too easy for her to make the notes come out just like they were written. As an accomplished pianist, I imagine that Mom expected her efforts to teach me piano would be more fruitful. But I remember being more interested in joining the ball game in progress with the neighborhood kids, that it took me a long time to learn the lesson, and my retention of the lesson wasn't very good. But Mom never got upset with me for any of that. The only thing she was on me about was my sort of lack of responsiveness to what I call a practice reminder. Practice reminders became a regular part of Mom's repertoire through my years of trumpet playing well into high school. And I never really put this together before, but I only remember Mom playing piano, never practicing. I'm sure plenty of practice had already been done. As you all know, Mom is an accomplished artist, and her artwork started decorating our house decades ago. I never developed any talent for drawing or painting, so this always struck me as particularly impressive. In the early years, drawings seemed to be the most plentiful. Lots of sketches in charcoal, for which I'm told I developed a special taste. Yes, it appears that a young boy will put just about anything in his mouth. Then came the paintings, oils and acrylics and watercolors, followed by the three-dimensional stuff, flat art and fat art, as we used to say, as the sculpturing kicked in. Later, calligraphy joined her portfolio. We proudly display Mom's artwork in our home today, enjoying it ourselves and showing it off to guests. One of our neighbors even purchased some of Mom's watercolors for their home. And our favorite birthday cards still come from Mom's pen and brush. Mom always had a lot on her agenda, and every now and then that was supplemented by following up on me for some forgotten or delayed task. Her bringing my forgotten lunch to school stands out in my memory way too clearly for that to have been a one-time event. Nothing adds to one's self-esteem like having created the need for your mom to track you down in the classroom and hands you a brown paper bag that sort of announces iconically that you've forgotten your lunch. But she was a welcome sight, and I definitely appreciated the support and the lunch. And then there was the dreaded term paper that needed to be typed. Remember when you had to actually sit down and type something you'd already written? But, you know, when you're closing in on deadline and you need your term paper typed that night, who are you going to call? Anyway, such examples could go on for some time probably, but I'll let it go there. In more recent years, of course, it was great to see how Mom welcomed Wendy and Sammy into the family. It's as though they've been a part of her family from the beginning. That means a lot to me and to them. It's also nice to know that even when Sammy isn't available to join us, that Wendy and I are still welcome. But I'd like to say a public thank you, Mom, and wish you a happy life.
It's good to hear a eulogy while you're still living.
Hello, everyone. I'm Phyllis Bass, and it's such a delight to be here with my husband, Cal, friends with the Lucas for more than 35 years. And first, let me say and express my appreciation to the Lupos and the Burtons for bringing us together in this wonderful celebration and for seeing to every detail and what wonderful food. This thing's just wonderful. Ruth is indeed a very special person. She is my lunch companion on Tuesdays, my Torah study companion, and she is a regular member of our Kavarah, and it's just been such a pleasure down to
Your mother's Jewish.
So many wonderful things with the Lupos, to say nothing of celebrations of this type. I'm not sure you can say any more that you penned a few words. Much like Charlie said, do we type anywhere? No. So what do I say? I processed a few words? Okay. Just a few words very much from the heart, Ruth. It's hard to believe, can it be true, that Ruth is turning 80. She travels the world to exotic ports. What an amazing lady. She drinks in the wonders of nature. She drinks in the wonders of nature as others imbibe good wine. Her luminous paintings project her soul, her eye for beauty so fine. She's kind, she's sensitive, she's caring. Her friendship is a treasure. Her subtle wit and wisdom, too, are valued beyond all measure. So with love and gladness, we raise our glasses high. L'chaim, mazel tov, and cheers. Wishing you all of life's blessings and many more satisfying years.
In case you guys didn't know, this is my sister Joan from the Bay Area. And for me, and for daughter Layla and her son Raman.
I just want to say a few words about my sister. Ruthie has an amazing vocabulary. She is compassionate, thoughtful, talented in watercolors, and an accomplished pianist. She is both brave and resilient. Ruthie has been concerned about several of my illnesses and continues to call me twice a week. When we were kids, she used to draw cartoons when I was home for a month covering various childhood illnesses, which you then bring to me.
Thank you for sharing.
Once I gave her some perfume, and she said it was so awful you could smell it over the airways. It's called radio perfume. You remember that? I remember that. Incidentally, Ruthie makes a great salad. You are a remarkable woman, and I am really blessed to have you. You are very special.
Joan, you're so sweet. That's lovely.
Thanks, Joni.
Well, my name is Cousin Joey. Hasn't changed in 100 years, more or less. I'm a little bit embarrassed. You see, when I got the email from Kay if I would do this, I handled it just like I do most things. I forgot about it. So I'm driving over here tonight. Yeah, I remembered it. So you can see all the notes I have. Okay? Yeah, right. Yeah. So here I am. But except for Joan, I've known this lady. She's been part of my life longer than anybody else in this room, and longer than just about everybody. And I happen to remember that I have a photograph in my collection of photographs for kids. This picture was taken probably about 1947, Hebgen Lake, Montana, at my parents' resort. And it went Ruth, Joan, my brother Danny, and myself. Now, out of those 4 kids, this lady right here has not changed. She is the same sweetest, wonderful person. I have never heard Ruth lose her temper.
That's because you weren't around.
There may be people who testify differently. I've never heard her say a bad word about anybody, or a bad word in general. And whenever you wanted something, you just call that, ask her. And it has been a wonderful being, having all of us in the same family. And I was delighted to be able to come here this evening and participate in this. And Ruth, I wish you another 80. And let's do it again. Happy birthday, dear.
I'm not sure exactly how to introduce. You guys will have to judge for yourself.
marvelous, fantastic voice.
So let me help you out with the intro then.
Okay.
Heather, whose camp name is Chipper, and we all call her Chipper, and you will probably too at some point, has been Sammy's girlfriend for a long time, 5 years already, and she is as much a part of our family as we can imagine. She was, for those of you who were at my father's 80th birthday 5 years ago here, but we hadn't yet figured out whether or not we could coax her into sharing some of her special skills. She is a very talented vocalist from the University of Boston, and she grew up out here, but she went to school back there, and Boston University was lucky to have her for a while. We're glad that she's back in California. But she has a little something to sing for Mom.
All right.
So I'm not so good at the shtick performing, but I wanted to tell you two things. The first is that I'm singing Summertime from Porgy and Bess. And I know that it's the beginning of January, but because you're from Montana, this is like summer for you. So you can also imagine that it's summer. And the second is I've seen some of your artwork, and it's phenomenal. So I really hope that this is up to your artistic standards. Also, this is a cappella, so don't expect it.
Acapulco.
Sammy, can you my note?
Cake in my mouth, thank you.
Getting some direction. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your ma is good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you're going to rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and you'll take the sky. But till that morning, there's nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mammy standing by. If my birthday girl wants an encore, I'll do that. Yeah?
While you're standing up, would you lead us all in singing happy birthday to her?
Sure, I can do that. What's a good starting note for everyone?
We don't know what we're doing.
Happy birthday
to you. Any key and
happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Ruth. Happy birthday to you.
That doesn't count as an encore. But the girl asked for an encore, so I'm going to sing an encore.
Please.
This is Porgy and More. This is my second favorite song to sing. It's from the Nozze di Figaro. It's the Contessa, and she just found out that her husband is trying to cheat on her with Susanna, who's the help. Yeah. So she is basically saying, like, she wants his love back or she's going to kill herself.
She is a good sport.
Give her Schwarzenegger's arm.
Sammy?
It's the same note as the other
I
one.
have to kiss find your note.
Should have cleared your
I know
throat
3
first.
notes.
There's a piano in there. If you really.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go grab that real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, I'm going to check my note.
Do one lap around and she'll be back with a note.
She will be breathless.
I think she just ran and got into the car.
Sammy, believe it or not, that was the right note.
What do you have? One of the 3 notes.
Surprise, surprise!
I'm not a friend.
See, Gloria, you were right.
baby.
Okay. Some other time. I'll sing for you, and you'll pay for me.
Encore.
Beautiful. Sing Melancholy Baby.
Un tango.
So I'd like to say that we had any hope of topping that, so we're going to stop now. That's it. We are done. Everybody go home.
Yeah. Again, happy birthday, Mom. Let's do it again next year.
Yay!
Have some more coffee.
I'm overwhelmed. I love you all, and I'm so happy that all of you are here, and it just makes me happy that we could say how much we love you. So I do. I love all of you, and I thank you all for coming, and stick around and chat as much as you like.
It's definitely mutual.